Oh brothers and sisters, if you find it difficult in waking up, if you find difficulty in waking up for the Fajr prayer, then I suggest that you ask somebody. I suggest that you ask somebody in your house to wake you up for the Fajr prayer, or that you get yourself an alarm clock. It's very important, brothers and sisters. We must not miss the Fajr prayer. We must not miss any prayer of the day. We must not miss. So we need to find a way to wake up for the Fajr prayer, and the punishment for not offering the Fajr prayer is that when you are in your grave, you will be made to lie down on the ground while an angel drops a large boulder onto your head, causing your face to bleed terribly. And this will keep happening again and again and again until the Day of Judgment. A'udhu billah. We seek refuge with Allah from that. But this will be the punishment for anyone who has not offered the Fajr prayer. The punishment of the grave is that when he is in his grave, he will be made to lie down on the ground, and an angel will drop a large boulder onto his face. This will be the punishment of the grave for not offering the Fajr prayer. So my dear brothers and sisters, verily the salah, the prayer, is not something that any one of us should take lightly. It is so unfortunate that many Muslims in today's ummah, or many people who claim to be Muslim, do not offer the 5 daily prayers. And this is miserable news. This is sad news, that a lot of the Muslims today do not pray 5 times a day. This news is very sad. It's just sad. This is very serious. Anybody who does not offer the 5 daily prayers is going to suffer a great loss, a tremendous loss in the hereafter. We seek refuge with Allah from that. You see, brothers and sisters, I am warning you now. I am warning you now for your very own benefit. And I advise you to take my advice. Oh brothers and sisters, you will regret not taking my advice. My advice to you is to just pray 5 times a day. Brothers and sisters, just do it. What is the point in making Allah very angry with you on the Day of Judgment? What is the point of going to hell for not praying 5 times a day? Brothers and sisters, this punishment for not praying 5 times a day, it really is not worth it at all. So I have one advice for you, brothers and sisters, and I am warning you now. I am saving you. If you take my advice, you will save yourself from this regret and the punishment of the hellfire. I advise you to pray 5 times a day. I advise you to pray 5 times a day. You see, on the Day of Judgment, brothers and sisters, on the Day of Judgment, if you have not prayed, then your soul will feel such a tremendous regret. The ultimate regret. If you haven't prayed 5 times a day, then on the Day of Judgment, you will feel such an enormous, such a painful regret for not praying 5 times a day. And indeed, the worst regret that your soul can ever feel is regretting being disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh brothers and sisters, if you don't pray 5 times a day, then you will regret it so miserably. And you will be and if you haven't prayed 5 times a day, then on the Day of Judgment, you will be deprived of the magnificent blessings and virtues of the prayer. If you refuse to pray, If you do not pray, then you are really missing out a lot of the magnificent blessings and benefits of the prayer. And instead of achieving an eternal, everlasting, beautiful paradise, and instead of achieving the mercy and the pleasure of Allah, you will achieve such a miserable, painful, humiliating punishment in the hellfire. And what a great loss that is. Oh brothers and sisters, is it really worth it? Is it really worth being in the hellfire, feeling such an enormous regret for not praying 5 times a day? Oh brothers and sisters, do you really want to end up in this never-ending regret, considering that this life is the only chance you have for you to start offering your prayers? Because this life is your chance for you to pray to Allah 5 times a day. Because after you die, then that's it. You can't do any more good deeds. So on the Day of Judgment, brothers and sisters, on the Day of Judgment, imagine how you would regret not having prayed to Allah, considering that Allah is not going to send you back to this world to give you another chance to pray to Him. So I have one advice for you, brothers and sisters. Save yourself from this regret. It is better that you start offering your prayers 5 times a day. It is better to be safe than to be sorry. It is better to be safe from the hellfire than to feel sorry for not having prayed. It's better to be safe than sorry. You know, on the Day of Judgment, when a man is thrown into the hellfire, Allah will say to a man in the hellfire, O son of Adam, if you had on the earth everything that you wished for, would you give it all away to save yourself from the hellfire? This is what Allah will ask him. And then the man will reply, yes, my Lord, I would indeed. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to him, but I asked you for something less than that. I asked you for something less than that. I only asked you to worship me alone and not to associate partners with me, but you kept associating partners with me. Subhanallah. Oh brothers and sisters, we will truly regret, we will truly regret not praying. And praying 5 times a day is not a difficult thing. Believe me, it's an easy thing to do. Praying 5 times a day is an easy thing to do. We will regret, because if we haven't been praying 5 times a day, we will truly regret not doing something so simple that Allah has told us to do. Allah has told us to pray to Him, which is such a simple thing to do. And we will be in the hellfire, and we will miss that beautiful paradise just because we never bothered to do something that simple. We will be in the hellfire, and we will miss that beautiful paradise just because we never prayed to Allah, just because we never did something so simple that Allah has told us to do. So is it worth being in the hellfire, having your skin roasted into black ash, and feeling such an enormous painful regret for not doing something that simple to save yourself from such a humiliating and terrible punishment? Oh brothers and sisters, think about that. And on the Day of Judgment, we all have to cross a bridge. On the Day of Judgment, we all have to cross a bridge, and underneath that bridge is the hellfire, and on the other side of the bridge is paradise. So this is the bridge that we have to cross in order to get to paradise. And this bridge is so thin, this bridge is so narrow, that this bridge is thinner than a piece of hair. Subhanallah.